IT professionals of Reddit. What's the most unbelievable thing you've ever uncovered at work that made you question reality? I once got hired by a mid-sized manufacturing firm to clean up a few computer issues. Sounded simple enough. About 40 workstations, decent hardware, nothing fancy. But on my very first day, something felt off. I kept seeing employees jogging across the production floor holding USB sticks, not casually either, like this was a critical operation. Each USB drive had a handwritten label with a customer name taped to it. At first, I assumed they were doing quick backups or something temporary. They were not. Despite having a fully wired office with Ethernet ports at every desk, every single file transfer was done using these USB drives. No shared folders, no internal servers, no network printing, just people yelling things like "Blue drive for Acme" across the room. I later learned this system had been in place for 3 years. The reason? Their previous IT manager, the owner's nephew, had convinced everyone that internal networks were extremely dangerous. According to him, hackers could intercept files traveling through cables and steal proprietary designs. His solution was what he proudly called physical data isolation. Translation, USB sticks. They even had a formal process, color-coded drives, a clipboard sign-out sheet, and a rotating data courier, usually an intern, whose job was literally to move files from one computer to another. When someone finished a design, they'd shout "transfer," and the courier would sprint over like a relay race. The wildest part? The Ethernet cables worked perfectly. File sharing was simply disabled. Employees were told the cables were internet only. The owner explained all this to me with genuine pride. "You can't hack something that isn't connected," he said. "Much safer than wireless signals floating in the air." I chose not to explain how hacking actually works. Then I discovered the printer situation. They had exactly one printer for the entire company. Because printing over the network was forbidden, there was a single ancient desktop, an old Dell from another era, connected directly to a dying HP LaserJet. To print anything, you had to copy your file onto the correct USB drive, walk it to the sacred print computer, wait in line, sometimes for hours, and print from there. Missed deadlines were common. People planned their day around printer access. When I suggested enabling normal network sharing and network printing, the owner visibly panicked. "Our designs," he said, "our security, the system protects us." Arguing logic wasn't going to work, so I tried something else. I created a PowerPoint. It had complex-looking diagrams, arrows, glowing nodes, and lots of words like endpoint, packet, and tunnel. I explained that hackers do target networks, but that I could deploy a directed packet exchange protocol, a completely fictional security method that would be far more advanced than USB shuttles. For realism, I showed an installer with a progress bar labeled "Securing Node Endpoint," while I quietly enabled Windows file sharing. I renamed their network to Hardened Secure Infrastructure, added a shield icon to the desktop wallpaper, and used phrases like "encrypted pathways" instead of "shared folders." The next day, I demonstrated the new system. Files opened instantly. No running, no yelling, no waiting. People were stunned. Within a week, productivity nearly doubled. The owner was thrilled, though he insisted we keep 2 USB drives as emergency backups in case the tunnels collapse. 3 months later, the nephew returned. He saw employees accessing files directly and nearly lost his mind. He cornered me in the break room and whispered angrily, "What did you do? Those systems aren't safe." The owner overheard and smiled. "Actually," he said proudly, "he upgraded us to directed packet exchange, way more advanced than your shuttle method." The nephew left, muttering about vulnerabilities and backdoors. A year later, they still email me after every Windows update asking if the secure tunnels are still operational. And yes, the 2 emergency USB drives are still locked in a desk drawer. Last Christmas, the owner gifted everyone custom engraved USB sticks that read "Emergency Shuttle Unit." Mine says "Chief Tunnel Officer." I keep it on my keychain. A reminder that in IT, the hardest thing to fix isn't the technology, it's the people.